Husbandry family, as we get ready to jump into this episode, we just want to remind you that the thoughts, the words, the stories of our guests are not ours, and we may not always be in agreement with them, but we always want to give people the space to be transparent and authentic. If anything offends you, please let us know, and we want to make it right out of our love for you, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to the latest episode of Husbandry, a place where we take an institution that's taught so black and white and talk about living it in color. Tonight, we have a special guest. Y'all gonna like this one because just the prequel to what we've been talking about tonight. We got the good brother Fred with us this evening. Fred, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
You doing good?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, man, let's talk about this. Let's jump into your marriage story, your love story. How long have you been married?
15 years, going on 16 years.
Going on 16 years.
Yes.
If you can describe your marriage in one sentence, what would it be?
At this present stage in my life, marriage is great.
Now you've talked about this sentence before, right? Why is that your one sentence? You have some wisdom behind why you say that.
Because you're asking me a question. I don't know why you're asking me that question.
Okay.
So you're giving me a broad question. You're giving me a basic question. I give you a basic answer.
All right. So let's talk about that, because a lot of people are curious about what marriage is and what it's not.
Okay. I hope I'm able to help you out.
What goes on in marriage, the good and the bad.
Right. Okay.
Right. So when should we choose to protect our marriage and not reveal some of the things that go on inside of it? And when should we be open with
it? Okay. So when you're talking about to protect your marriage, to protect your spouse, and I tell a lot of young people and a lot of people that is married, getting married, or just got into the marriage, don't let nobody in your business. That's the first thing. Because what may work in your marriage may not work in my marriage.
Right.
What you will tolerate in your marriage, I may not tolerate in my marriage.
Yeah.
So it's a communication thing. And that's what it's about. So you're talking about marriage. So I'm going to go to your question. How did I meet my wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fred over here asking his own question.
So how I met my wife was I'm running around, doing what I do.
Yeah.
At that time in my life. And my brother, God rest his soul, he said, yo, where you at? I said, I'm on my way to work. He said, I want you to meet somebody. The first thing came out my mouth was, how she look?
Yeah.
They're like, man, she okay. No. How do she look? He was like, she all right. All right. What the heck? I go down there. I meet her.
Yeah.
So I met her and I was like, all right. But now I got to go to my opening line. My opening line was, I don't need sex from you. I get that. I just need you as a friend. So when I do run into the tricks I'm trying to smash, you able to give me the cheat code. Like what she mean when she say that? Or she mean it's cool. I also know when I say that to you,
right,
your ego now gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, what you mean? You don't want this? No, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get it.
So before you go
but
any further,
I don't need it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
So what about that? What do you want to call it? Is it a strategy? Is it it's a strategy?
Strategy, yeah.
What about that strategy did you think was going to be helpful in you finding a wife? Or were you even thinking about a wife at that time?
I wasn't.
Okay. You just really wanted somebody that was going to throw you the ooh.
That's it. I need the expert.
Yeah.
You're a woman.
Yeah.
I don't need to go ask a man. I got my cheat code is you.
And you thought she was going to be okay with that?
Most of them are coming out. Most of them are.
And that's why we don't marry most of them.
Right. Most of women, when you say, no, I'm good, I don't need you from sex, the beginning, they're going to be like, oh, cool. But after a while, they be like, wait a minute. Is something the matter with me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Oh, you're going to give it to me.
Yeah.
Well, my wife was like, cool. I ain't got to give him no sex. I'm going to do exactly what he asked.
Yeah.
And that's when there was none. It was straight friends, but I was fine with that. I was fine with that.
Did you ever ask her why she was fine with that? What was her end game?
No. Because
you didn't care.
I didn't care. Why would I ask? I'm on a mission.
Yeah.
I don't need to ask you your end game. I'm only focusing on my end game.
So here we go. So then how did she get you? Because you've been married to her for 15 years.
Well, I realized, I can't run over top of her. Oh, she's a challenge.
Yeah.
So now it's what I tell a lot of men. Can I deal with the baggage that come along with it?
Right.
Can I deal with her baggage? I don't know how to argue.
Yeah.
So I was dealing with this one chick, and she was in a previous relationship because the only way she knew where I guess showed love was physical.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not into that because I got sisters and I got a mother.
Yeah.
So I'm not into hitting females.
Right.
So I was like, all right, whatever. So now I'm having a conversation, and I'm like, okay, this conversation good. All right, fine. But now I got my license, but I don't have no car.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, can you drive my car? Word?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So now it's like, I can't run over top of her.
Mm-hmm.
She, okay. Now, when I brought her home to my mother, my mother knew that this was the person, because I never brought no chick in front of my mom.
Right.
My mom said, don't bring no chick in front of me.
Yeah.
Not unless it's going to get serious.
Yeah.
So when I bring her in front of my mom was like, honey, I need you to do me a favor. And she was like, what? Here go my debit card and the number. I need you to take care of something for me because my son don't know how to do it. My mom did that. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Right.
So now my antennas go up. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let me see this. And so now our conversation is, I'm feeling comfortable around her. Now we're talking and we're sharing stuff. Oh, I can share this around her. You don't judge me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I know this is the one.
Yeah.
So now once I knew that was the one, now I'm contacting all my chicks I was dealing with. Listen, you know what? I found her.
I found her. It's not you. The roster getting shortened up.
And all of them said to me, I'm happy for you.
So there is a belief out here.
Okay.
And I probably 60% of the time, 70% of the time, this belief is probably right.
Oh, okay.
That dudes, when we're running the streets, that we are actually involving ourselves in activity that makes us less desirable for marriage. Right? Because as we're dealing with these women, as we're running, we're building up walls, we're building up mind states that actually takes us further and further away from marriage. But you have a different story where you were running the streets, but still somehow you ended up finding your mate. Did you always want marriage in the back of your mind? Did you always know you were going to go there? Or did it just happen?
You have to understand one thing. If you don't know what marriage look like, how do you know what you're going? How do you know this is marriage? You have never seen marriage. You may seen your family. Oh, this is my girlfriend, or they may have been married, but now they got divorced, or they separated. Oh, I don't want to do that. But see, for me, I had role models of marriage.
Yeah.
I had one of my uncles. He'd been married for maybe at that time 30-something years. And then I had my other uncle. He passed away. Deacon Lester Collins,
Mm-hmm.
he'd been married. He was married for a long time. So I understood and I seen what a good marriage was.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, if I ever go down that route, I know who to go to. And like clockwork, I did.
Yeah.
When I realized that this is who I'm going to marry, now I'm going to the experts.
Yeah.
I can't go talk to my buddies.
Right.
I got to go to somebody that's been doing it for a long time.
A long time.
The Tom Brady's of the marriage.
Yeah.
So I went and they said, okay, and they gave me the game.
Right.
So now I know I want to marry her. We on a boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else around.
Yeah.
She stopped the car. She said, what we doing? I was like, huh? He said, what we doing? Are we, I ain't got time to be playing games with you.
Right.
Oh, you challenged me. But I already knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. So I said, all right. So now we sit there and I'm like, all right, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm like, Dad, how do I propose to her?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going out Vegas.
Yeah.
So I said, yo, I'm going out Vegas to visit my father.
Yeah.
He said, can I go? I'm like, yeah, you buy your own ticket. You can go.
Get out of here.
I'm not paying your ticket.
Are you serious?
We dating at this time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I ain't paying for your ticket.
Fred, you're not serious. Why not?
I ain't paying for your ticket.
But why not?
Why should I? You want to go? Listen. You gotta understand. You gotta understand one thing. Listen.
Yo!
I did not say I did not say I'm treating you to Vegas. I said I'm going to Vegas to visit my father.
But this is a woman that you know you want to marry.
Right. I'm going to Vegas to visit my father. The invitation at first wasn't open to you.
Yeah.
If you want to come along,
yeah,
you're going to pay your way.
So this is amazing to me because it seems like you have this amazing on and off switch, right?
Okay.
Right. And this is what I mean by that. You were in the streets.
Not in the street. What are you talking about? With the women?
With the women.
Okay,
come on. It is what it is. You had to call a list of women and tell them you was getting married.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
Okay, we can go with that.
And then you were able to turn that right off. Right? And deal with the woman you want to. And then you have this woman that you want to marry, and in one place you making her buy her own plane ticket to Vegas, and then the next you turn it off, you get married to her, and you able to love her in all the ways.
Yeah.
So were you just reserving that treatment until you felt it was the right time, or were there some things that clicked in your mind that said, I got to start living different now?
No.
How did it happen?
It's. I don't know if it clicked. I don't know if it was reserved. It was just like, you know what? All right, it's time to tighten up.
Yeah.
Now, after I proposed to her out in Vegas, was a surprise to her.
Yeah.
I got down on one knee. I did the whole going all out.
Yeah.
Got down on one knee. Let me tell you what this hussy said to me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what she said to me.
Yeah.
We out Vegas.
What'd she say, Doc?
She said, did I say yes? I said, well, let me tell you this one thing. If you didn't say yes, I'd have been at the brothel right now. You ain't even got to worry about that.
At the brothel, you knew the address to the brothel.
Oh, listen, we in Vegas.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. But go ahead.
No. So I think there's a valuable lesson in here because a lot of the times now I see a lot of young guys who are falling for women too quickly. Right? And what I mean by that is they begin to treat a situation like she's automatically wifey material because they're imagining what she could be, but she hasn't earned that position yet. She hasn't done what was trustworthy. She hasn't done what your future wife at that time did, made that place of safety for you, that non-judgmental place where she'll still hold you accountable. You ain't getting nothing over, but she accepted you, right?
Well, you have that. So when you're talking about that, so you got a man and you got a woman.
Right.
So if I'm a man and it's 100 women lined up, I want to sleep with every one of them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a woman and it's 100 men, women are different.
Mm-hmm.
They look at the potential.
Right.
A little talk, you know what? Nah, maybe, yes, not even close. They're going by attention. Men, we're visual.
Right.
You already know we're visual. Right. So when we're looking for a wife, like what me and my wife did when we first was dating,
mm-hmm.
and we're dating now.
Mm-hmm.
Here go paper. I got a paper. Write down everything that makes you mad.
Yeah.
You don't like. Write it down.
Right.
Okay, I got it. Okay, keep that paper.
Right.
Cool, I got it. Information. So now,
why not write down everything that makes you happy? Why not that one?
Marriage is when times are tough. That's marriage. Not when everything is. If everything is going fine, then how you know if you got a rider with you?
Right.
How do you know? How do you know if you're gonna be down for if times get tough?
Yeah.
And I may need you to go get up a little second job.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage is when there's the tough times. We got to talk about this.
So is that what you were doing with your strategy in the beginning, trying to figure out if your wife was tough enough or sturdy enough to handle being with a man like you?
Just I need to know who am I dealing with?
Yeah.
I need to, because I see what I see. You're gonna show me certain things. But now, all right, let's pull back these layers. I need to see who am I dealing with. So now you do, well, I always did different tests.
Why was that so important?
Because I need to know, will you panic on me? If I say, you know what, I'm a little messed up. Can you lend me $10 for lunch?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I do, I'm not listening to what you say. I'm now looking at your body language. Because I need to see. Your body gonna tell me first.
Yeah.
You could be like, all right. No, that was phone. And then when, all right, here you go. I'm good. I don't need it.
Yeah.
The test, I need to know, are you selfish?
Yeah.
I now need to know, you know what? Can you pay this? I can pay it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pay this? I need to know how good are you with the money. I got to watch you.
Mm-hmm.
I got to watch you with money. I got to watch you how you are around your mother.
Mm-hmm.
If your father's in your life, I got to watch how you are.
Yeah.
I got to watch how you are when you're around your girlfriends. Saying, let me look into the camera. Men, if you are getting ready to marry a female, and she has no girlfriends, you are her girlfriend. Now back to you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Now, what did you say?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a terrible thing.
Why?
Because if you have friends before you met this female, and now all of a sudden she has no friends, she will slowly tear you away from your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be her girlfriend. And most men that are like that are miserable.
So one of the things you just recently said is when a woman sees a man, she's looking for potential.
Right.
What did your wife see in you? What do you think?
How I show mercy. Because how I will get up and go to work, even when I don't want to. How I'm not so quick to anger. That's the mercy.
Yeah.
And she asked me one day, she said, how come you give everybody the benefit of the doubt? I said, well, God wakes me up and shows me mercy every day and give me the benefit of the doubt. Why can't I do that to somebody else? Why can't I? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt until you show me otherwise. Because once you show me otherwise, now what I do to you, I don't have no remorse. Mm-hmm. You get everything that comes to you. So that's what I told my wife. She said, you're loving, you're kind. And she had 2 boys before we got married. Mm-hmm. She said, you treated my boys like your own.
Yeah.
I said, I have a theory for that. I tell all men, and I hear a lot of men say, oh man, the kids and all this. I said, you a bonus. If you meet a female to have kids and that man is not dead, I'm the bonus.
Yeah. You don't get to step in that place.
I do not believe that you sit up there. One thing I don't do, and I never did with her kids, I never hit them.
Mm-hmm.
I never yelled at them, and I never cussed at them. Mm-hmm. I talked to them accordingly to their age. Mm-hmm. My wife seen that, and she was like, "Okay, I trust you with my kids."
Yeah.
So that's a total fine line you dealing with. So yeah, you gotta sit up there and be like, you know what? So now she's looking at the things I do. She see I'm a family man. Because she met, the first person she met before she even met my mother was my cousin Karen Smith.
Yeah.
We went on a date and she was like, you know, I know you don't got no car. You don't got no car. I said, but I got a gas card. She said, oh, I can fill your gas tank up. Okay.
Yeah.
I need you to drive.
What? So let's stop right there.
Okay.
Because we were just having a conversation prior to jumping on the mic about how there's this new trend of men who feel more than fine with living off of women. And I think a lot of them, and I'm going to throw this to you real quick. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of it comes from how their mothers have raised them, right? Like if you have a woman who allows a boy to be a boy, even when he's a man, then he's going to go find another woman that allows him to do that.
Yes.
Why was it so important for you, if you were riding in her car, to put gas in it?
Because I was always taught it's nothing free. Mm-hmm. So if the person did a favor for you, you got to do it in return.
Right.
So we going on a date. I feel bad I don't have a car. You know my situation. At least I can do is put gas in your car.
Right.
That's the least I can do. That's what a man does.
Yeah.
A boy will sit there and say, ooh, sit back. I may have
put a seat all the way back.
Right. I may have a chick go ahead and pump the gas and everything.
It's crazy.
And I think that is, I don't blame the male 100%. You got some ignorant women. Let me pump my brakes on ignorant. You got some young women that may not know better.
Yeah.
That was never taught from a older man on how they should be treated when it comes to a man.
Man, that's so true. I remember when I first met my wife, there was an older man in my life. He was my youth pastor, and then I'm a young adult. I lost my job when I was dating my wife. Mm-hmm. He said, I better not see you in her car. She better not be giving you no rides home. If you ain't got no gas money to give her and you can't contribute, find your own way.
Right.
Right. And it'll be times where we would be leaving the church, like, you know, from a game night, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock. I'm on the trolley.
Right.
Right. Because a grown man told me you shouldn't feel comfortable as a man riding in that girl car for free.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So so now let's talk about, we both sat here and talked about, man, stuff is just crazy on the street. Mm-hmm. We think it's role reversal. We got women out here acting like men. Mm-hmm. We have men out here acting like women. What do you think is the responsibility for us who are married to try to help change some of that situation, right? And telling our stories and giving advice. And what do we need to do? Because marriage is not only about our individual marriages, it's about our community.
Right. Okay. Right.
I believe the more marriages you have, if they're good and strong marriages, the better your community is and the more you will flourish. What responsibility do you have to give young boys the game?
The responsibility that not just me, anybody that's in a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship, Your job is for that young man is start to mold that young man into so when he grows up, he's not considered a bum.
Mm-hmm.
He's not considered trifling.
Mm-hmm.
He's not considered, because when you don't have or you don't know how to communicate. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to marriage.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us as males,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Because we were brought up, don't cry. Don't show no feelings. Men don't do that. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane, because you hurt, but now you're like a volcano. You're going to snap or anything. But so my job as a man is to show another young man how to be a man, how to be a good man. So you're doing what you're supposed to do in the community, helping the community out. When you meet, we want to say your queen, you know how to treat her. You know what to do. So now when you got kids, you know how to teach the next generation. This is what it means to be a man.
Yeah.
But if there's no role models to do that, then what do I know? I know. So my role model is not the man. My role model is my homies. We all savages. We for what we know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no role model. And that's the problem. A lot of men is, man, I don't feel like dealing with them young boys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't you a young dude? Didn't you make mistakes? Okay, so all right, let's it's how you approach.
Yeah.
Same thing when it comes to your wife.
Right.
How do you approach a situation that you may be having? A lot of us don't know how as men.
So
we don't.
With communication,
which is big,
which is very big. And one of the things that I hear in the story with you and your wife is you communicated about a lot of heavy stuff up front.
You have to. So the word I'm getting ready to use, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
You have to train your spouse.
And
a lot of people say, Fred, why you gotta say train?
Yeah.
So I sit up there and say, well, you mofo, when you got during that work and your supervisor say, yo, I need you to go to training for this promotion.
You don't have no problem with it.
Oh my God, I ain't got no problem with the training. Oh, you ain't got no problem. But you can't train whatever word that makes you feel good. But I like to put that word that in your face.
Right.
Like pow.
Right.
Train.
Right.
Because the problem is your spouse does something to you you don't like. You never address it. And it happens again. Now you explode. And your spouse is saying, oh, wait a minute, I ain't know about that. You never said nothing to me about that. We never talked about that.
Yeah.
Oh, and now you mad. I can't believe you did this. Well, what you mean you can't believe you did that?
Right.
You never said anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, me and my wife, one of the things we've been doing this for years, it's somewhat years, is on Saturdays. We go down, we got a little, in our kitchen, little island. We go down there, and I'll start it off. How did I mess up this week?
Every week you do this?
Mostly every week.
Wow, talk to me. Keep going.
How did I mess up this week?
Yeah.
What did I did that you did not like? And we talk. And as she's talking, I don't say nothing. I need to listen to what you're saying to me. I need to understand so we don't go back down that road again.
Right.
Because my ultimate goal is to have sex. I don't need that. I don't need to be messing that up with the foolishness after you just told me don't do that and I do it again. Now as I'm blowing my chances to get laid. Are we joking?
Yeah, you are a man of just dichotomies within yourself.
Listen.
There's a part of you that is like ultra, like very stern. And then there's a part of you that seems very tender. Yes. There's a part of you that's selfish. And there's a part of you that is selfless, right?
Yeah.
There's a part of you that's in it for what your wife wants, but you really in it for what you want.
Of course.
How do you make that work? Like, how does that equate to, baby, I love you?
Because I'm doing what you, see, I tell my wife ahead of time, you know, when we first, look, I'm going to do it, you know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for sex.
Yeah.
So she already knows this. So when she'll simply say, yo, I need you to do this. So when we're talking about the communication,
yeah.
Again, I don't know how to argue.
Yeah.
I don't know how to argue.
Yeah.
And me and my wife.
What do you mean by you don't know how to argue?
I don't know how to argue because if I argue, if we're in a heat of argue, I know where it can lead.
Yeah.
Physical.
Right.
So I don't even, so.
You just stay away.
I stay away from that. You got to know yourself.
That's
Me
right.
and my wife been married 15, going on 16 years. We might have had 2 arguments.
Mm-hmm.
And
but you have a lot of hard conversations.
You have to. You have to have the conversations. And because not having these hard conversations, how do your marriage grow?
Mm-hmm.
Your marriage can't grow. It's going to stay there because that elephant that somebody's offended.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know this. So it had to, but you can have these hard conversations. It's how it's presented. You know how you go to a good restaurant? For me, the presentation is big. So if the presentation is nice, I'm cool. So it's the presentation. Here you go. I'm going to set this nice presentation up for this meal, and we're getting ready to talk about this.
Yeah.
You can't be mad.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, your feelings going to get in it, but you got to get your feelings out of it because we're having a conversation to strengthen our marriage.
You said to me earlier that you and your wife can be mad at one another.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And we can still have sex.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How?
Because how can we do it?
Yeah.
Because it goes to what I was saying. We don't sit up there when we argue. We're listening and we're debating. We're not trying to cut each other.
So I'm mad. I can be mad at it, but I'm not really mad at you because I know even though you said something I did not like I still know deep inside that you love me.
Right.
And I know we're going to get through this.
Right. So what do sex got to do with you have a problem?
One thing don't have to do with the other.
My wife will tell you. All I got to do is just turn around.
Yeah.
But okay, so we had a problem about that. We resolved it.
Right.
So what's the next thing to do?
Yeah.
The goddamn makeup sex.
I
told you my goal, sex.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
How did you and your wife get to the point where you've had such honest expectations and honest conversation with one another? Is it because you already had passed where you've been through all the games, you've been through all the playing, and you're like, I don't have no more of that left in me?
It was from the rip.
What made it from the rip? Like, what is inside of you that made it happen from the rip?
Okay. There are no games. If our thing is, are we married? We married. There is no, oh, I don't want to be married. No, we in it.
Yeah.
So plus, I was able to see, go back to what I said, but I was able to see what a long marriage is looking like, how healthy it should be. What should I do? We get married. We in Vegas. I mean, we on a honeymoon. Yeah, we got married. We go back to Vegas for a honeymoon.
Did you pay for the ticket that time?
Yeah. Yeah, I paid for the ticket. Yeah, I paid for the ticket. And, I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna simply take. No, I ain't pay. I paid for the ticket.
Yeah.
So we sitting there eating breakfast. My wife would tell I'll sit there and go talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I seen 2 older white people sitting. I said, excuse me, can I ask you a question? How long have y'all been married? And they was like 50-something years at that time, back in 2008. I said, what's the secret here? Communication. And however you attracted your now wife to you, whatever you did before y'all got married, you have to still do that.
What did you, Tell me, because I don't know from some of the stories I'm hearing. I don't know how you attracted you, because you was just out there keeping it real. What did you
That
do?
attracted her. I was truthful. I didn't try to shoot game at you. I'm being truthful. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So now
That's
things,
good.
Two things can happen from that.
Yeah.
Either you don't like it or you got to respect what I'm saying.
But she feels secure because she knows you're going to be honest.
Right.
Whatever you feel or wherever you're at, that's what you're going to tell her.
And I showed her, I always show my wife ultimate respect. Even when she works my goddamn nerves.
Right.
I still show her the respect. Because I do not believe in this. How can I, if me and you, we hanging out and we homies.
Yeah.
How can I sit up there and don't disrespect you? Now, you tell me something. You and my wife tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't disrespect you, but I disrespect my wife.
What's the ultimate sign of respect a husband can have for his wife? The highest sign of respect you can have for your wife.
Now, that's going to be, everybody sees things differently.
For you.
So I'm going to go for me. The ultimate sign of, for me, respect is a few things. One, you have to let your wife be her. You got to give space. You have to trust your wife. You know what I'm saying? These are the things you have to do. I can't be with you if I can't trust you.
Right.
Nah, I don't do that. Also, just being able to laugh. Respect. It's the I feel comfortable around you. I can be myself. That's respect. Somebody say, you know what? He's comfortable around me. I respect you. I don't sit up there and disrespect you when I'm out in the street. I don't disrespect you in front of the kids. If we have a problem, I show you respect by talking soft to you. Still giving you that reverence of my wife. That's respect. And hopefully you do the same. Even if you don't do me like that, I still do it for you. Why? Because I love you.
Right.
I care for you.
Yeah.
You are my queen. And on top of that, I'll say it in front of God. So I have to show you the respect that you deserve. And for me, black women been getting disrespect. No, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to beat them dudes out there. I'm going to show you the respect. Even when you don't deserve it, I'm still going to show it to you. Eventually, you're going to come around. And yeah.
What's the ultimate? So,
vice versa?
No, I'm going to give that to you in 1 second.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this, but when you look into the scriptures, or they may know it, in Ephesians 5, it gives two different commands to the husband and wife, but it's aiming at one goal. And the husband and wife sacrificially and unconditionally loving one another. It says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. And wives, respect your husbands as unto the Lord. Because without respect, men don't feel love, right? And without love, women don't feel loved and respected, right? What's the ultimate sign of respect for you that your wife does for you or gives you that just makes you feel like no matter what, I'm going to be good here? Because she does what?
When I come through the house, I'm going to say it like this. When a man comes through the house, he come home, I don't need the nagging. I don't need that. I'm already dealing with that out there.
Yeah.
If you want to tell me something, fine, tell me. But I don't need it. I don't need that.
Some women will tell you, so what, you don't want me to speak my mind?
You can. But now it's how you saying it to me.
Right.
So if I say that to you the way you say it to me, I'm disrespectful. So my wife respecting me, she shows me that, yeah, you are the man. Now, I ain't no servant, but you are the man.
Yeah.
And I feel safe around you. That's all women want, to feel safe that you may not have a better job than me, but you can still provide for me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You may not be the the most physicalest person, but I know my wife knows that I'll lay my life down for her.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm gonna jump in real quick because I like that. Mm-hmm. I might not have a better job than you, I can still provide for you. Unpack that a little bit because I think there's a lot in there, and that's a big thing for a lot of men.
And that's a big thing. By far, statistically, Black women are more college educated than Black men. Mm-hmm. On a majority, Black women earn more than most Black men. So yes, unpack that.
The reason I said that is because going back, how far you can go back, it was always the men worked, the women, the society is the women stay at home. Mm-hmm. Black women stay at home. Mm-hmm. Men go get a blue collar job. Black men, college wasn't our thing. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go get a job. The trash men before other people started saying, oh no, that's a good job. We do hard labor. Mm-hmm. Well, the women started saying, wait a minute. I now understand that I need to bring money in. So, you know what? I'm going to go get education. Mm-hmm. So now, after they sit there and put the work in and get that education, now they're making that good money. Some men can't handle that because some men feel as though if my wife make more money than me, I'm less than a man. I think that is crazy.
Right.
My philosophy is, oh, you make that much money? Oh, we a team? Oh, that's just more money. That's all it is. We're one.
Bruh, let me tell you, there are a lot of women out here in these streets right now that will crucify you for what you just said.
And you know what? I get it, but those are the women that you hear say, I'm independent and I'm all it. Yeah, you are, huh? Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. You're independent, and I'm cool with you being independent. Mm-hmm. But don't sit up there and say, "Oh, well, I'm independent," and now all of a sudden, yo, can you do this for me? No, do it yourself. Do it yourself. You independent.
What's the difference? No, but what's the difference? Because earlier you was talking about like even what you were saying. You said that older married man in your life said, "Don't you get you lost your job? Don't you get in her car and be riding around for free?"
Right.
Like, where does that change to where like if you know you with a woman who's supporting things financially, and you got a job, you're not sitting around doing nothing, but it's on her financially. Like, where does that, like, how do you begin to reconcile that when a lot of times we're raised to say, like, yo, if it's not on your shoulders financially, we're kind of programmed to think that way.
It depends on the woman. And this is where the communication comes from. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't talk about it, then now I get to think anything I want to think.
Right.
Because we haven't talked about it. So now I get to say, well, you know what? I'm not talking about the new breed of women that feels the independent. Most women, if they see you out there busting your behind, they support you. Mm-hmm. They support you. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Right.
They support you.
But I do want to talk to
Yes.
I want to talk to whatever is culturally going on that are stopping Black men and Black women from marrying. And one part of that is this idea of independence, that Black women have raised Black women with saying, go out there and do it yourself. You don't need no man. And Black men have raised Black men in a way to say, you don't settle down with one woman. You just play around with them so you can have more than one.
Right.
Right. Like, we have to kill that on both sides.
Right.
So let's talk about our women who are independent, and we're only from a man's standpoint, right?
Right.
I tell a woman, I only chime in on subjects about my sisters is because I'm a married man and I know what men are looking for.
Right.
I know once you get to a certain level, I know what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Right. And if you tell me there's no way that I'm going to go 50-50 with you, that kind of sends off a couple red flags.
Right.
It's not because I need you to go 50-50 with me.
Right.
But it's because of something you said earlier. That makes me think you all in it for you.
Right.
What are you going? You're selfish.
Right.
So you want me to marry you for this to be all about you. Now, this is where this is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
You say you do everything for sex, but then in the beginning when you were meeting, when you met your wife, you said, I don't need you for sex. I can already get that.
Right.
So a man wants sex, but that's not the only thing he wants.
It shouldn't be.
Okay.
That shouldn't be the only thing you want.
The men I know who have gone only after sex have picked horrible women.
That's because that's the only thing they went after.
So I'm agreeing.
So
yeah.
when if I'm only going after sex, I ain't talking. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
We talking about what? I only need you for one thing.
Yeah.
And then you going about your way.
So what do independent women need men for?
And I don't knock women.
And I'm not against independent women.
No, I don't knock women when they make that statement.
Yeah.
Because
my wife's an independent woman.
Because you don't know what that person been through before they got in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So we may hear, oh, you know what? I'm an independent woman. I would like to say, well, what does that mean?
My wife was an independent woman until she no longer needed to be independent anymore.
Right.
And that's when she got a husband.
And that's the meaning. That's what an independent back in the day means.
Right.
Women these days, they're changing that word a little bit. I'm independent. So now that means I'm an independent woman. So that means now I rule over top of you.
Yeah.
And since I make more money than you, you submit to me.
Which is so crazy because it goes back to Adam and Eve in the garden.
Okay.
Right? Where I remember Pastor Richards used to say this all the time. After the fall, Eve's main desire was she wanted to rule over Adam.
Okay.
She wanted to rule over him. Like it was a power struggle. And I think sometimes we have to put the math together for our men who don't want to. The reason why you haven't found the woman that you want to find yet is because you're not stepping up and taking the stage that you're supposed to be a responsible husband sometimes.
Where are you looking at?
Or where you're looking, right?
And not to cut you off, also another reason is, do you know what makes you happy? Do you know how to say no sometimes? Do you know how to be selfish sometimes? Those three things is good for a marriage.
Which in the beginning of my marriage, I would have argued with you. But now my wife and I tell each other, you need to know how to be selfish sometimes.
You have to.
When me and the kids come ask you to do something, if you ain't got your me time yet, you need to say no.
Right.
I can't do that. I'm past my capacity.
Right.
And so this is just, I want to solve this problem and we're not going to get it solved tonight. I had somebody come up to me and say, a woman say, I don't know if black men and black women like one another. And I think this independent woman versus this reckless, promiscuous player type man, it's clashing, right? And man, we both have to humble ourselves in certain places in order to become one.
So do you know why it's clashing? Because the independent woman also knows, all right, I got myself together. But you got a dude out here that's reckless. Not all of them. It's the way you think. So I'm thinking one way independent. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm strong in this, but I really want to settle down. But I'm looking at these boys. And the only thing they want to do is get in my pants.
Yep.
So when I see it, I already recognize it. So that's why you got the clash. So now a woman defense. You know what? Yeah, I'm independent. That's a defense.
Yeah.
Because I don't care who the woman is. Every woman can be broke down.
I agree.
If they find the right person.
Right.
That's anybody.
Right.
But if a woman finds the right person and be like, you know what? I can see the potential. Okay, I'm a soften.
There's not many people I would say this to, but it seems like with you and your wife that you were exactly right for one another.
We were.
Right?
We were definitely.
And so you found that person that was just because I'm sure that there are women that you dealt with before your marriage that would have considered you to be in the reckless category. No?
No. Because I understand. Because when, let's say whatever it was, when I'm in front of you, I'm just about you. Nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else matters.
But that's still not the truth, though.
And my perception, it is. My perception that you see in front of me, it is.
See, you about to take me somewhere. I'm not even going to get into it. But that's not reality. Your wife is the only one that has lived the reality that the perception of those.
But I'm not dealing with reality. Because we already know. It's only one thing. It's only one. Listen,
that is good.
It's only one thing here. What are we talking about? Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Okay, we going out. We go to movies. Cool. I don't look at nobody else. It's just you. Because what's the end game?
And that's why, and this is what I tell. I hope a woman asked me the other day, she says, is husbandry just for men? I'm like, nah, it's for the women too. Because one of the things that your wife did to separate fantasy from reality before she was your wife on the boulevard, what are we doing here?
Exactly.
You ain't gonna have me in your little makeup fantasy.
And she knew it. Matrix.
Right, Matrix. Right. Because what you just told me was so true. Right. Listen, sis, we ain't doing this for real. We just playing this for the moment.
That's it.
For all them other ones.
This
is just to make us feel good in the moment.
That's it.
But this ain't real.
No. Ain't it? But it comes,
I hope they heard that.
But
that's a word right there.
But you gotta be straight up.
Yeah.
You got a lot of time we don't want to be straight up. We trying to maneuver. No, I'm straight up. Listen, this is what it is. Now you have two options: accept it or leave. If you leave, okay. I'm happy either way.
Jeez.
I'm happy if you accept it.
You giving them game. They better listen.
I'm happy if you don't accept it because now I ain't got to deal with your.
Because that's the problem. The reason why a lot of this doesn't work is because one person knows it's not reality and the other person thinks it is reality, and there's mixed signals.
Or the person that think it's not reality, especially when it comes to women, I can change him. You can't.
No.
You can't.
Yeah.
Not if you got a dude that's been doing this for some time. You ain't changing him.
Yeah.
You may change a few things, but you don't change everything. You don't. You can't.
This is crazy.
And what me and my wife is, we will sit there and we'll just sit there and talk and we can be around each other and enjoy each other. But there's times where, go ahead, you need your space. One thing me and my wife said, one thing me and Angie said to each other, if you're ever going to cheat, just go ahead and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you leave and say to me, you know what, it's just not working out, we got a small chance of still being friends.
Right.
But if I catch you,
yeah,
there is no friends.
Yeah.
I told my wife, I said, if you cheat on me and I catch you, I'm letting you know now I'm already going to have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I may even bring it to the house.
Yeah. The level of honesty can seem like spitefulness.
Right.
But I think that that's what we have to realize. In order for you to really know who you are married to, you have to have a level of honesty that this person reveals to you. This is who I could be at my worst. This is who I want to be at my best.
Right.
And going back to that reality and that fantasy, I would dare to say that until you met your wife, there were probably no other women that really met the real you.
No, you can't.
Right. Why not?
For what? Why should
Tell me.
But why should I? We know the end game. We know what the end game is. We know it ain't nothing here. Because if I can sit there and smash you on the first day, you ain't serious. What am I doing with you?
Nobody's gonna wife. Listen, nobody's gonna wife that. Yeah.
No, I can. If you that easy, come on, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good. If I can't work for it,
Yeah.
oh, ain't no challenge.
So
That means I run all over you.
So say something as we're men,
Mm-hmm.
and we're talking to our sisters, because I see black women
Got you.
as our sister
Okay. Me too.
that think sex can get a man and keep a man.
No.
That's what they think.
I know.
And that's almost what you said. You put your hand to God. You said, only one
That's
thing.
my but I'm being straight up.
Right.
And
But it's more than sex
Yeah, it's
that
more than-
keeps you.
Right. It's more than because some women, some people, because I don't want to just say women, because men doing it too.
Right.
Men are getting implants. And we ain't gonna go into that.
I
Pause.
am
Pause.
dead.
We ain't going into that part. But
That's crazy.
Some people think that my look and sex will keep you. No, that fades.
Yeah.
Eventually that fades away, and the real you have to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And the real you will come out.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do, I just push it a little early.
Mm.
I need to see the real you quick.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now, if I do something and it's like, it's like, all right. And now when I go, I'm already thinking at that time,
Mhm.
all right, maybe one, maybe two, maybe three times. I'll see how good it is. Maybe 3 times. All right, I'm gonna see if she can treat me to the hotel.
Mm.
All right, you know what? All right, I'm good with that. Okay.
I'm good.
So I already got my plan on how many times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just how it is. But
It's just craziness.
when you
But it's so true. Like, this is so true, where a lot of people have think they've been in relationships and you just been in a game. You've been in a simulation.
yeah,
Because y'all weren't honest on what you wanted to do and where you wanted to go. So you made it seem like it was something that it wasn't.
if I'm trying to get you and I like you, I can't show you who I truly am because you may leave.
Hmm.
Now, if I show you this is me, you be like, oh no, I'm scared. You may leave. I may now be desperate. I'm looking, my cycle is going. All my girlfriends around me is fine, and so all my homies are starting to get married. So I'll settle for you. I may not really
get it, yeah.
want you,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna settle for you.
Yeah.
And now I'm scared to show you who I am because I don't want you to leave. I don't want to be by myself. And
Do you believe that there are people living in marriages right now
Yes.
where,
Yes.
yes, you just answered it. You ain't even, you knew where I was going?
No, but go ahead.
Do you believe that there are people who are living in marriages right now as their representative and never got to be the real them?
Yeah, of course.
But do you see how that could be that slippery slope, right? Because you're saying, I'm in this, I got him in the matrix. Why? Because why should we live in reality? We already know we want one thing, boom, boom, boom. But then you said, then if I find out I really like you, now I'm scared to show you who I really am. So like, where do you draw that line?
Because
between,
when you meet somebody, when two people meet,
Mm-hmm.
what do? They put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
You don't see none of my what I may do when I'm asleep or how nasty I may be because we all grown up differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to put my best foot forward. I got to show you my best. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love. Oh, yeah. Now we in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We're not married yet. We in a relationship. And now you do something. Well, what the hell? Oh, my gosh. I'm showing you a little bit about me. And I realize you don't like that. How can I show you any more? Because if I show you more, you leave. And it goes back to, I'm alone. I don't have nobody. I can't go out with my girlfriends. Now, I see my girlfriends or I see my homies. Oh, they happy. They may look happy. Him or her, he may be whooping her behind.
Yeah.
She may be she may be mentally destroying him.
Yeah.
But on the outside, you look happy. And married people only show you what they want you to see. That's it. Me and my wife is a little different.
Yeah.
We'll be a little more transparent.
Yeah.
We don't have we don't care.
Yeah.
Because if we're transparent and we may bring up something and we're like, should we talk about that? Yeah. All right, yeah. And we'll bring it up and then we'll see how we handled it. We're letting you know that I don't care what color you are. Marriage don't have no friends.
Yeah.
Married, you could be nationality, whatever. Married is a marriage.
Yeah.
And we'll say, well, this is how we handled it. And then I have a couple friends come back to me. Man, Fred, I tried that, man. Good looking out. That worked.
That worked.
Oh, okay, cool. I want everybody to be married, but it depends. So.
Fred, we got to have you back on again because we'll end up going 3 hours with this.
Hey,
Last
man.
question.
Yes.
If you could fly a Goodyear blimp around the world or put banners or billboards up, giving people one message, one warning, or one encouragement, whatever you want about marriage, what would it be?
About marriage, I would say marriage is what you make of it. That's the best. If you bring in garbage to the marriage, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
If you're trying, I'm talking about both people. Whatever you bring to the marriage is going to come through.
Yeah.
If you want nice flowers in your marriage, that shows. If you a wreck because you haven't dealt with yourself, that shows.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's what you make of it.
Man, I appreciate you for joining us.
No problem.
I got to get you and your wife. Y'all need to, boy, they mentor a couple out here.
That's it. If you get me and my wife, you be like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she would do it.
No, because, man, I think that y'all have, from what I hear about your story, you have a level of transparency. You have a level of making it plain and a level of guarded but hard truth telling.
Yeah.
That makes marriage just so sweet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's laid out on the table.
Yeah.
And you get the chance to say to one another, I can accept that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is who we are.
Yeah. This is who we are.
This is who we are.
We ain't going nowhere.
Right. And this is what I want. This is who we are, and this is what I want. You're not surprised, right? By something that comes out of the woodwork and you looking up and say, I didn't know I was married to this kind of person. Because you laid it out on the table. And I think that that's something that married couples, a lot of them need to learn. They need to learn how to say to each other, this is what I'm feeling. This is who I am. This is where I'm at. I want to put that out on the table.
Yeah, because before me and my wife more than me, she shared everything. And I was like, I don't need to know all that. She said, no, because I don't want nobody ever to sit up there and say this about your wife. You can be like, I already know that. So it was stuff that I just didn't even want to know.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I looked at her like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You did that? Oh. Cool, I got that. Good looking out. Yeah. You know what I mean? But so.
Yeah. And there were already things about you that you told her. And the biggest thing you said, she's like, she ain't judged me.
No, she never judged me. She
never
judged me. She was like, okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I enjoy this. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Brother,
it
was definitely a good
blessing.
A good thing. I could talk for,
We're gonna talk some more.
I could talk more,
Yeah.
But
so you get ready. We're gonna talk some more. We're gonna have you back real soon. Appreciate you, boss.
No problem.
All right.